Have you ever noticed how work seems to drag on when you have nothing else planned for the day? But when you have a tight deadline, you're able to hyper-focus and get things done super efficiently. Well, today we're diving into Parkinson's Law and why work always seems to take up more time than you plan for. Stick around as we break down the logic behind this phenomenon and strategies to leverage it for higher productivity. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time allotted. So, if you give yourself 2 hours to complete a 1-hour task, you'll find ways to stretch it to the full 2 hours without even realizing it. This principle was coined in 1955 by historian C. Northcote Parkinson. He noticed that as bureaucracies grow, they become less efficient. This is because employees will find ways to fill their time regardless of the amount of work that actually needs to be done. The reasoning is that as humans, we don't like to feel idle or unproductive. So subconsciously, we make tasks more complicated than they need to be if we have excess time allotted. Okay, now that we understand why this happens, let's talk about how to use Parkinson's law to boost productivity. Here are 7 tips that will help you use this law in your favor. Tip 1. Set deadlines. Set tighter deadlines for yourself. Don't allow excess time for tasks to expand. For example, if you think a report will take, let's say, 4 hours, give yourself a 2-hour deadline. This will force you to minimize any unnecessary work and zero in on completing the core tasks. Fragment your projects. Break large projects into smaller milestones with timed deadlines. Taking a big project and dividing it into phases with deadlines can help apply Parkinson's law to drive focus and progress. Give each milestone no more time than needed. Plan your day. You know how the saying goes, an hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. When planning your day, estimate how much time tasks will take and then cut that time in half. We tend to build in a cushion when estimating task types. But if you aggressively cut the time estimates in half, it will force you to identify wasted effort and streamline the work process. Use productivity timers. Productivity timers like the Pomodoro technique can help you work in focused bursts. The Pomodoro technique uses a timer to break down work into 25-minute bursts, separated by short breaks. This time constraint maximizes focus and effort while the timer is going. If you want to learn more about implementing the Pomodoro technique, be sure to check out our video where we explain the process step by step and give you strategies to get started. Using timed intervals like Pomodoro forces you to work efficiently and avoid distractions within the allotted time frame. Filter your tasks. Pare down your to-do list to only mission-critical tasks. Limit your daily task list to high-impact items to avoid time-wasting activities. Apply the 80-20 rule or the Eisenhower matrix that we just covered in our previous video. This will really help you filter your tasks and get straight focused on what really matters. Optimize your tasks. Every couple hours, ask yourself, what's the fastest way to complete this task? For example, could you shorten that client email from 5 paragraphs to 3? Are there steps in this workflow you could remove? Look for ways to simplify, streamline, and optimize constantly. And last, but surely not least, prioritize your tasks. Make sure to prioritize high-importance tasks each day. Tackle big priorities early before you get drained. This focuses your best energy on the most critical projects, applied to Parkinson's law. Well, in summary, Parkinson's law shows us that work has a natural tendency to expand based on the time allotted. But we can counteract this tendency by setting constraints like tight deadlines, task milestones, time boxing, and focusing on high-leverage activities. Implement just a couple of these tips at a time until they become habits. Concentrate your efforts on minimally viable work, aggressive timelines, and prioritized tasks. With Parkinson's law working for you instead of against you, you will be amazed at how much you can accomplish in very less time. Of course, like anything worth it in this life, comes with challenges. Now, let's say you're facing a massive complex project but don't have an urgent deadline or the ability to create one. This presents a productivity challenge because without time pressure, work tends to expand out of control. But don't despair. There are clever ways to manufacture focus and urgency so you can still effectively tackle large projects without strict deadlines. You can break it down into manageable chunks, create accountability measures, get creative with gamification tactics, and establish visibility systems. The key is to simulate the focused mindset a tight deadline would generate using productivity best practices. Even without looming due dates, you can establish momentum and drive. Well, here are 5 effective strategies you can use. Number 1. Set milestones and deadlines anyway. You need those deadlines to create some crazy focus. Break the project into phases and set a deadline for each milestone. This will for sure provide you forced structure. Number 2, and this one is really helpful. Find an accountability partner to check in with daily or weekly. Reporting to someone adds urgency to make consistent progress. If you are like us here in the self-upgrade zone and you like RPGs and MMORPGs, well, basically you like gaming, well, this one is for you. Make tasks into competitions or games. For example, challenge yourself or others to complete components fastest. Make learning fun and grow from it. Number 4. Reward yourself when milestones are achieved. Set specific incentives for reaching each project phase to motivate yourself. Remember, self-upgraders, you need to attach some kind of pleasure to the work you're doing. So every time you achieve a milestone or a very important task, don't forget to go and celebrate. It can be a 5-minute pause, it can be scrolling a little bit through TikTok and social media. Just remember, you need to give yourself some kind of reward. Lastly, and this one will really insist on it, work on the project first thing in the morning. Just work on those tasks when you are fresh, when there is no distractions around. Don't let it get pushed later in the day when you are most likely to be tired. The key here, self-upgraders, is adding some type of time frame, accountability, incentives, or metrics to mimic the focus of a real deadline. Get creative with ways to build in urgency, even if the project has flexibility. The bottom line is that Parkinson's law causes us to subconsciously delay and overcomplicate our work. But you can use these tips to hack your human tendency and drive higher productivity. There you have it, self-upgraders, an in-depth look at how you can leverage Parkinson's law to boost your productivity. Just remember, work expands to fill the time allotted. So set aggressive deadlines, break projects into focused sprints, and prioritize ruthlessly. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're constantly publishing content on productivity, time management, and optimizing your workflow. You don't want to miss it. Let us know in the comments what topics you want us to cover next. We love hearing from you guys. In the meantime, start applying some of these Parkinson's law tactics and get more done than ever. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.